Hi, this is Jamin for Seven Oaks Realty Limited, and we're here to discuss a fantastic topic on the show today, and that is factors that determine land appreciation. Stay tuned, get your writing materials together, and let's get enlightened. All right, we all know that there are several reasons for us wanting to jump on one real estate deal or the other quick enough, such that we invest in a window when these properties are at the all-time lowest and all that. So several factors determinant to that. So you discover that for a period of time, some people, I got this piece of property at this particular location 5 years ago and it was going for just 2 million naira. Now I'm trying to flip it, I'm trying to resell it, and it's now going for 15 million naira. Why the sudden the appreciation on that particular land? We're going to be talking a couple of things, but the thing we need to know, there's a particular beautiful lady who came on a business forum I put together, and she talked on real estate investment, and she said the best investment on the planet Earth is Earth. They are not making any more. You understand? So because it is limited and is scarce, it's one of the reasons that land appreciates very quickly. So let's just quickly run through just a few of these items, some of these factors, such that you familiarize yourself with it. Number one, location. In real estate, location is key. So location could be developed or underdeveloped. So a lot of times when you want to get real estate deals, you discover that I bought a particular land, possibly in Mowe or further down Mowe, you're going towards or probably Abeokuta or something. I'm just trying to give us a scenario here, and no disrespect to any of these locations. So you get a piece of property there, and then investor B goes over to Victoria Island, or goes to Ibeju Lekki, or goes to Lekki Peninsula in general, and gets a piece of property there. The other person buys for, let's say, 2 million naira. That's the person in the Mowe axis or Abeokuta, whatever it may be. You discover that buys for 2 million naira, and then 2 years down the line, it appreciates to about 4 million naira. So you discover what's going on here. That's the amount of appreciation that happens on that property. Meanwhile, investor B gets a piece of property for, let's even conservatively, let's say for the same 2 million naira, probably in the furthermost part of Ibeju Lekki, and then in 2 years' time sells, or the land appreciates by probably 300% and probably goes up to 6-8 million naira. Why the discrepancies? Location. Now, in location, it's either that location is underdeveloped or it is developed. As we all know, in Africa, the fastest corridor, the biggest growing corridor of real investment deals in the entire Africa is within that corridor of the Ibeju Lekki, Ekpe Expressway, all those particular Lekki Peninsula corridor. Fastest growing real estate investment areas in the entire Africa. Of course, because of this, you discover that more and more infrastructures and things are coming up. Gentrification and a whole lot of things are causing these corridors to fast open up. So basically, point number one, location. Is the location underdeveloped? At the location where you went to buy, for instance, investor A, where he went to buy his property, is the property largely a farmland? If it's largely a farmland, of course, then you can see that it might remain underdeveloped for a period of time because people are just largely waiting for that place to, further develop. Meanwhile, in the other city, in the metropolis, you discover that faster developments are going on there. So, number 2, migration. We need to talk about migration. You discover that Lagos, for instance, of course, we're talking about Lagos here. Lagos is a fast, matter of fact, Lagos is, it's almost filled to the brim. All borders around Lagos are almost developed. I'm not saying not all of them are developed, but almost. You have fast development happening in Lagos as compared to other parts of the country. You understand? So you discover that because of the increasing housing deficit in the nation and of course in the world generally, people migrate to just try to start a new life somewhere in the suburb or somewhere in the hinterlands of Lagos. And because of migration, hey, you know what? I just got a piece of property. I tell my friend I just got a piece of property. It's just an hour drive as opposed to our normal 15-minute commuting. It's an hour drive, but I have the luxury of space and this, and then you try to tell your friend, and then your friend moves, along with you. New investors, new landlords who are also trying to build properties. It's either you buy from the existing developed area or you go further down and you get. So you have new landlords, new property owners going further down to also get their investment in that axis. So migration is a thing. So when a new area begins to open up because a lot of people are investing or they want to build their property or something like that, you discover that more and more people move into this axis. So the land would automatically appreciate. Another thing we need to consider is heavy government presence. With government being interested in some certain parts of Lagos, you discover that if they're bringing in, for instance, a deep sea port over there, you also have instances of the Lekki Free Trade Zone and everything. With the government presence also comes along infrastructure. It comes with development. For instance, you have heavy government presence, you have police, hospitals, and other things, other parastatals in that particular area. Because of the convenience and the presence of these places around you, the land that is going to be sold in that area, of course, is going to appreciate. I need to also talk about titles on the land. For instance, when you just purchased a land, probably a realtor company purchases a land, and the first thing they have on the land probably is going to be a registered survey and probably receipt, depending on where they get the land from, and they have not perfected their title at the moment. Of course, such land is going to be sold to subscribers at a discounted amount. Okay, do you understand? But as soon as the title is perfected and they have like a CFO or a governor's consent on that land, trust me, such a property that was being sold for X amount, probably let's say 4 million naira, would definitely jump up to 6, 8, 9 million naira, as the case may be. We've seen this happen over time. So having a perfected title also causes land to appreciate. So another factor here is land improvement. So if you as a realtor or as a general investor, you get to buy a certain property, and then if you leave it over a period of time, no improvement on it, people come over there. Like I said, the earth is scarce, land is scarce. Of course, it's a scarce commodity. People are still going to try to buy it, and it's still going to appreciate nonetheless. But when you, as a realtor or as an investor, whoever you may be, begin to put in land improvements, things like you put your fence around there, you begin to put your streets, paved streets, you begin to put up your street light, central water treatment plant, and all those other things. It generally makes the land to appreciate. For instance, you're selling a buy and build property. Because of that, of course, your land is going to appreciate. Another factor we need to consider here is demand and supply. Demand and supply. So a lot of times you have also, of course, as it is, you have so many land all through the country, in Lagos and all that. A lot of people, as much as they want to buy as much land as they would, the land, of course, like I did say in the beginning, is scarce. So people are always scrambling to ensure they get a piece of land. Okay, so there are speculators out there. People who speculate, oh, this land is going to open up now. Oh, for instance, in Ekpe, there's a new feature coming over there, just like the Atlantic, Eco Atlantic that is being put up in Lagos here. There's a representation, a duplication of that kind of typology also in Ekpe. So people begin to speculate. These are the things they want to do. These are probably, you have friends in the Senate or whatever it is, you get some kind of info, or you hear it over the news or whatever it is, and then you begin to speculate. It's going to cause a surge in demand for that particular location. This will cause the property, the land, to appreciate. So another thing I need to talk about is national prosperity. This is why we need to also ensure we do our best to ensure the country is properly represented in the global scheme of things. You pray for your country, you ensure you work hard at the corner where you are. Let's just build the country together. Once a country prospers, minus corruption, prospers, you have much more spending power. Of course, more people, everybody, desires to own a piece of property on the land. So once you have that money, you have the spending power to not just take care of your family, but to also, take care of the immediate needs. Then you look at shelter as well. The more people that have the power to purchase, of course, you know what happens? It's just a normal law. Demand would actually, surpass supply. Okay, so once demand, surpasses supply, of course, the land would definitely appreciate, because more and more people are trying to get that piece of property that is limited, and of course, the land would appreciate. So another thing I need to talk about is infrastructure. For any location that you are cited, of course, the various kind of luxury infrastructures or things. For instance, there are some areas now that the government is building parks where you could go there with your family, for picnics, put your blanket on the floor, basket of food, sit around with different drinks and everything, and then you can also have free Wi-Fi within that parks. Lagos is currently doing that. So the more infrastructure the government puts in place, not just infrastructures by the government, probably by other individuals as well, the more they do that, the more the land within that axis would appreciate. And then lastly, I need to talk about gentrification. For the last 5-6 years, there's a particular part of Lekki after Lekki Phase 1, between Lekki Phase 1 and you going to Chevron, that particular axis between Lekki Phase 1 and then you go to Osakpa, London, all those axes used to be extremely swampy. But here's the power of gentrification. The rich want to stay together, they want to band together. And because of this, you discover that they pour in money to develop such areas. I was so surprised the last time that I was there and I discovered that a lot of the swamps were all cleaned up. They have filled the entire place. Several estates had sprung up, and people were already fully living there. And they had the financial muscle to ensure that they had water treatment plant, things that could ordinarily would not allow a poor neighborhood to tackle significantly the issue of water. Gentrification will solve that, where you have enough resources to be able to, sink in a water treatment plant for the entire estate. And because you've been able to do that with the funds available, of course, you move in there. So these are just not to exhaust all the other factors. These are some of the reasons why land appreciate factors that determines land appreciation. So you might want to tune, of course, to me the next time. I'm Jamin for Seven Oaks Realty Limited. I want you to like, subscribe, and then turn on the notification bell such that you can get notifications of our newest content. Till I come again next time, peace.